Yai dai Good afternoon, everybody. Shana Tova and Chatima Tova. We are coming to you from our beautiful Ulam. Woo. And I am Rabbi Javier Carapan, and I am joined today by Leslie Zucker and our wonderful group of... Oh, I have the wrong service. Give me a minute.
Wishful thinking.
I'm reading from Ne'ilah already, and I was like, wait a minute, we're not there yet. We are just in Mincha. Thank you to Stu Lewis for reading Torah today, and to our readers, and to the Bao Committee for bringing us beyond our walls. Again, if you are technically inclined and would like to lend your hand to our Bao Committee, they're always welcome to call them and get in there. Now, we have a very special treat in store for you this afternoon. We have a storyteller. Joyce is right here. Welcome. And we are using our High Holidays Machzor, Mishkan HaNefesh. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, links to the prayer pages, PDFs are right there in the comments. If you're in the virtual sanctuary, you can find those above the player. If you're watching us on Facebook Live or in the virtual sanctuary, we invite you to say hello by typing Chatima Tova in the comments and click return. Again, if you need help getting back online, if you have a problem with the technology, with our streaming, the number to call or text is 913-303-1134. A reminder of those who are leading prayers today, you will be reading from this stand microphone. We will move it a little bit because we're going to use it first for reading Torah, and then your readings come after the story of Jonah. So we'll move that. You come up here, make sure that you speak loud and clear. There's no need for you to touch the microphone, and please. And also, if you remember, tell us who you are, so all of us here know, and also those who are watching from afar can tell us who you are. Finally, make sure that you look at your cell phones, pages, wherever you carry. Make sure it is on the off position. Our service begins on page 325. As we sing together words from Psalm 34, Mi Ha'ish. Echafetz Chaim, Ohev mi, Ohev yamim lirot tov, Mi Ha'ish, Echafetz Chaim. מדבר מרמה, סור מרע ועשה טוב, בקש שלום ורודפהו. כי האיש החפץ חיים, אוהב ימים, אוהב ימים, לראות טוב. The service, this Mincha is an unusual service. We don't do Mincha very often. So you may be surprised that on page 328, we go right into the Torah service. So one song, Torah service. page 328 in the middle of the page. We give thanks today for a Torah of life, the way of kindness, mercy, and truth. May compassion be our source of sustenance now, as is our people's past. May our souls withstand times of crisis and our hearts the inclination to evil. May the covenant of Abraham and Sarah strengthen our will to do what is right. May the qualities of mercy and goodness, love and forgiveness flow through our lives. And let us be strong in our perilous world. Let us open our hearts to the path of Torah. We continue on page 329. If you're able, please stand and join us in Ki Mitzion and all the parts of the Torah service.
I already did that, didn't I? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Uram B'mam Shemo Yachdav.
So we're reading today from the book of Leviticus. It is a very famous section from the Torah. It is what is usually known as the Holiness Code. And what it does is lists all the various, not only sacrificial cult things, but they're also very important little phrases, everyone is just a pearl of wisdom. And the last one that we read together is Ve'ahavta l're'echa kamocha, you shall love your neighbor or your fellow Israelite, if you're reading it in ancient times, as yourself. Now, the reading is on page 338, and it goes into 339. The blessings are on 330. And first of all, let's make sure that we get it in the right place before we do the blessings. Hold on. So for the Aliyah, I would like to invite Doc. Ya'amod Aliyah la Torah. So let me get the
Adonai Hamarach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Lelam Vayed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Let me get the
Amen. V'yedaber Adonai al Moshe Lemor, daber al kol hadat b'nei Yisrael, Yamart Alehem, Kadoshim Tihiyu, Ki Kadosh Ani Adonai Elohechem, Ishimo V'Aviv Tira'u V'Yetshabtotai, Tishmoru, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Al Tifnu El Ha'elilim, Elohei Masecha Lo Tasu Lachem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, V'chi Tizbahu, Zevach Shlamim LaAdonai, L'Rtzonchem Tizbahuhu, V'yom Zivchachem, Echel Umi Mocharat, Hanotar Yom Hashlishi Ba'esh Yisaref, Vim Echol Yechel B'yom Hashlishi, Pigulhu Lo Yeratzeh, V'yochlav Avono Yisak, Ki Et Kodesh Adonai Chilel, V'nechratah, Hanefesh Ahi Me'ameha, V'kus V'chem Et Kitzir Artzechem, Lo Techale, V'at Tzadcha Lektzor, V'leket Kitzircha Lo Telaket, Barchamcha Lo Tolel, Uferet Karmacha Lo Telaket, Lani V'lager Tazovotam, Lani V'lager Tazovotam, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Lo Tignovu V'lo Tichachashu, V'lo Tishakru Ish V'amito, V'lo Tishavu V'shmi L'shaker, V'chalal Ta'ah, Et Shem Elohecha, Ani Adonai, Lo Tashok Et Reacha, V'lo Tigzol, Lo Talin, Pulat Sachir, Itcha Ad Boker, Lo Tichalel Cheresh, V'lefnei Iver, Lo Titain Mechshol, V'reita Melohecha, Ani Adonai, Lo Tasu Avel B'mishpat, Lo Tisaf Nedal, Lo Tedar Pnei Gadol, V'tzedek Tishpot Amitecha, Lo Telech Rachil B'yamecha, Lo Tamod Al Dam Recha, Ani Adonai, Lo Tisnad Achicha Bilvavecha, Hocheach Tochiach Et Amitecha, V'lo Tisa Al Lavchet, Lo Tikom V'lo Tiktor, Et Pnei Emecha, V'havta L'Reacha Kamocha, Ani Adonai.
Show him where it is.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lanu Torah tamet v'hayolam natah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashar koach. Yashar koach. Excellent. Thank you so much. We continue on page 340 with Vezot HaTorah. If you're able, please rise. You may be glad to hear that I actually passed my Hagva'ah class with an A+ when I was in rabbinical school. There isn't such a thing, a Hagva'ah class.
What? How many marks against you is it if you break one?
Oh my. I've done it already, so. Would you like?
Sure. Before the blessings or after the blessings? Yeah. Okay. I'm very pleased to share with you that I know our storyteller personally, and am excited that she is here to share with us the story of Jonah. Many of you know Susie. our pianist, and Joyce is the reason that we have Susie, so you already like her going in. But I am privileged to work with Joyce for Potluck Productions. Some of you have come and seen the readings. Joyce and I are both producers with Potluck Productions, and she directed our Friends show this year, and she's just an all-around pretty amazing human being, and we are thrilled to have her with us to share the story of Jonah in a unique way. I was getting the microphone, but you already have it. So the rabbi is going to do the blessing of the story, and then we'll hand off the microphone to you.
Yeah, come over here. Join us. And you're going to move around, right, with a microphone?
Yes.
All right, well, let us say the blessings before, and then it's all yours.
All right.
It's on page 330. No, I'm sorry, not page 330. 342. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'neviim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק.
Thank you. Is it on? Okay. The story of Jonah, in my words. Jonah was a prophet. He was a prophet to Adonai, and he revered Adonai. He would do anything for Adonai. He would accept his words. He would follow his guidance. But on this occasion, when he heard Adonai speak to him and say, Jonah, Jonah, get up and go to Nineveh. For they are evil, they are doing evil against me, and warn them, please. And Jonah thought, how could he ask me to go to Nineveh? Does he not remember what the Assyrians did to the Israelites? Does he not remember? Oh, I cannot do this. This is where I draw the line. I cannot do what Adonai asks. And so he thought he could hide from Adonai. Could you hide from Adonai? He who sees everything, who knows everything. But Jonah, he was foolish. He thought if he went as far away from Adonai in the east as he could go, he would travel across the great sea to the furthest piece of land. He would go to Tarshish. No one would find him there. No one. Not even Adonai. And so he went down to Jaffa, and fortunately there was a ship setting sail for Tarshish. How fortunate for him. He said, I will pay my fare. I will board the ship. I will hide in a place where Adonai will not see me. I'll never go on board. No. And so he did pay his fare, and it was a cargo ship, but they took passengers. And there he hid. But as they went out into the sea, Adonai sent a great wind that roared, and it stirred those waves until they crashed against that ship, and it tossed and turned until the sailors thought it might shatter right there in the sea, in this great, beautiful blue sea, the blue that when it was calm, it is the most beautiful color in the world. It reflects the sky that Adonai brought us. And so they didn't know what to do. They thought maybe they should throw some cargo over. Maybe the ship was too heavy. How would they survive? They pleaded to each of their gods. Each of them was a different god, and none of them helped. None of them stopped the storm that raged. And so they went down to find Jonah. But Jonah had gone to the lowest part of the ship, into the bowels. There he was, sound asleep. How could he sleep with the ship rocking back and forth and tossing and turning? How could he possibly sleep? And they woke him up and said, "You sleep? How do you sleep? You sleep when our ship is being shattered? You talk to your God. We have spoken to ours, and we are getting nothing in return. You speak to your God. Tell him that we need help." And so Jonah, he prayed. But nothing happened. Then he went on board with the sailors. And they spoke to each other. This God isn't helping us. That God isn't helping us. Then it is because one of us on this ship is evil. We have done something wrong. Who is it? We will draw lots, and the gods will help us decide who is the fault of this storm. And so they did, and of course you know who drew the lot. Because he would. It was on his head. He drew the lot. Jonah drew the lot, and they said to him, "What have you done that you would cause this? What have you done? Who are you? Who are your people? Where is your country? Tell us, what do you do?" And Jonah said, "I am Hebrew, and I am a prophet to Adonai. My people are the Israelites." They said, "What can we do? Do something. What can you do? What can we do?" And he said, "This is my fault." He said, "What have you done?" And he said, "Adonai gave me a command. And what did I do? I turned away. I turned away and I ignored it. I hid. But now I know I cannot hide from Adonai. I will tell you what you must do. This is on me, not on any of you. You must lift me up and throw me into the sea." And they said, "We can't have that on our heads. Throw you into the sea? Kill another man? No, we cannot do that." They tried to row to shore, but of course, the storm just raged even stronger. And so they prayed to Adonai. They could see how strong Adonai was, how much power he had, how good he could be, and how you do not go against him. And so they prayed and they prayed, "Please, Adonai, calm the storm for us. Show us what to do." And then finally, they knew what they must do. They did not want this on their heads. Would you want it on yours? No. So they threw Jonah into the sea. And immediately the sea calmed, and everything was good. And they said, "This Adonai, we forget our own gods. We will now follow this great God, Adonai. We will take a vow to follow him." Well, Jonah, of course, tossed into the sea, and down he went. Down, and the waves went over him, and he went down through all of the seaweed that tangled around him. He went down to the bottom, to the very bottom, and he knew he must die. He would die for this. when suddenly Adonai sent a great fish. Can you imagine how big this fish was? Bigger than the blue whale. Yes. And swallowed up Jonah. Into the belly Jonah went. And what was there? It was dark. He couldn't see anything. He could feel, things all around him. But there was no food. There was nothing to eat or drink. And 3 days and 3 nights he spent in the belly of this fish. And finally he knew he had to pray. He prayed to Adonai, you sent me to the belly of a fish. I know what I must do. You sent me down through the waters, and the waves engulfed me, and the waters brought me down further to the foot of the mountains, to the very depth of the sea. And I am willing to die, but please save me from this fish. Please bring me back. For I will never see the temple again. I will never hear your voice. You will never gaze upon me. I will do your will. I will do what you want. I will do your commands. And of course, when Adonai heard that, the fish went to shore and spit him out right there. Slime and all. Of course, he cleaned himself up if he was going to present himself to Adonai. There's somebody at the door. Now, as he is cleaning himself up, resting, he hears the voice of Adonai. Now, Jonah, go, get up and go to Nineveh. You must bring them back. You go and tell them that what they are doing is evil. Go. Well, Jonah still didn't want to go, but he knew he was not going to go against Adonai again. No. He went to Nineveh. Nineveh was a great city. It was the capital of Assyria. It was so large that it took 3 days just to walk through it. 3 days. Now he knew what he must do, so he started on his journey. And as he went, he called, 40 days, and Nineveh will be destroyed. The great, my God, Adonai will destroy Nineveh. And they heard, they listened. It's sometimes hard to listen. But when they heard and they listened, they knew what they must do. They must repent. They must make amends. Would you want to be destroyed? No. And so they spread the word, and from the very richest to the very poorest of the people, they decided to fast. They would give up all liquids, all food. They would cover themselves with sackcloth and ashes. They would repent. And they did this. And then the word came to the king, the great king of Nineveh, and he knew what his people wanted. You know, it is a great king who knows how to treat his people. And so he removed his robes and put on the sackcloth and sat in ashes. Can you imagine how that felt? And he told all of his people, they will fast. There will be no drinking. There will be no eating. Even the animals, even the small children will not eat or drink. We will fast. The beasts, whether flock or four-legged, they will fast. And so they did. And you know, when Adonai saw this, his heart was touched. And he relented. He would not bring this terrible, terrible destruction. Well, of course, Jonah wasn't exactly happy about this. Jonah thought, they are evil. I knew this would happen. I knew this when I was in my own city. I knew that God would be compassionate. I knew he would do this. After all that the Assyrians had done, he would find in his heart love for them. He would forgive. He would relent. Oh, Jonah was so angry. He went outside the city. He found a place. He built a little shack, not much. And he sat there, pouting, sulking, as you know he must have. And there he sat, trying to shield himself from the hot sun of the desert, trying to work this out. And Adonai came and said, "Why are you so angry?" Well, he could see Jonah was not going to change his mind right away. And so Adonai, in his great wisdom, planted a wonderful plant that grew, and there was a gourd that hung over Jonah and protected him from the sun. And Jonah was happy. He thought, he loves me still. But then the next night, Adonai, he placed a worm in that gourd until it shriveled up. And Jonah was sitting in the sun again, and Adonai blew this great wind, this hot wind against him, so hot that Jonah fell over in a faint. And when he woke, he was angry still. Adonai said, "How can you be so angry? Angry? You pitied this gourd that you didn't even have anything to do with. You didn't grow it. You didn't bring it about. I put this here, and I could take it away. And yet, you feel more for that gourd than you do for the people. And you deny me compassion for the Ninevites? Do you not know that this is a great city and there are more than 120,000 people there? And in their condition, some days they don't even know their right hand from their left. How can you judge them, Jonah?" And Jonah was silent. The story of Jonah.
I imagine that's how the story first was told, orally, by someone telling the story and people listening. We're thankful for the story and for the storyteller, and we continue offering blessings on page 351, blessings after the reading of the Haftarah. Baruch אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, היל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום הכיפורים הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, למחילה ולסליחה ולכפרה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך מוחל וסולח לעוונותינו ולעוונות עמו בית ישראל, ומעביר אשמותינו בכל שנה ושנה, מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ויום הכיפורים. Service continues with returning the Torah scroll to the ark on page 353. If you're able, please stand and join us. Please remain standing. Let me put this here so. Hello, hello. There you go. Well, it is. It will be. Can you hear me? Yes. So I hear some people say no, so. Hello. All right. Well, for those who are leading readings, you're going to speak from there. Service continues on page 356 with the Amidah, the standing prayer, begins with Adonai Sfatai.
Adonai Sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
This one is quite different than what we're used to. On page 361, we read together at the top of the page. Zocher chazdei avot ve'imahot. Remember the chesed of those who came before us, a desert tent furled on every side, the home of Abraham and Sarah, wide open to welcome travelers from all directions, an open hand to offer bread to strangers in need, an open heart of bold voice lifted in defense of others. We continue on page 365. Gevurot, Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, you are the power that never diminishes and never subsides. From you we draw Gvurah, our inner core of strength. Strength to rise at dawn when hungry babies cry. Strength to rise before the aged parent to bring care and dignity. Strength to give patience to a child whose needs overwhelm us. Strength to hold and heal a spouse in pain, to give love without losing hope. Strength to survive a job that is stressful and unrewarding. Strength to endure months or years without work and purpose. Strength to face crisis and strength to surmount everyday hurdles. Strength to keep practicing and exercising, trying mightily in spite of failure. Strength to do what is called for even when it's hard. Strength to do what is right, especially when others do not. We continue on page 369. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam. Let us sanctify your name in this world. A celestial song sanctify your name on high. Ask the Chofetz Chaim, is it not presumptuous for us to compare ourselves to ancients? One might think it is like a pauper dressed in rags who appears before the king, pretending to be one of the royal ministers. And he answered, in truth, we have as much right to stand before God as the angels. For it is written in the Torah, God blew into Adam's nostrils the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Holy One, you breathe into a human soul something of yourself, a spark for the yearning to rise up and unite with its source. And so we hunger for holiness. We long to lift up mundane acts and make them beautiful. Let us reimagine our tables as holy altars, when each day we offer up our best through blessings and mindful eating, thoughtful conversation, and care for one another. Let us make marriages that are truly kiddushim, holy partnerships of intimacy, faithfulness, and love. Let us sanctify time, preserve and remember Shabbat, and keep the holy days of our people. In a world that can be cruel, let us create holy communities, oases of compassion. The Torah teaches, do not profane my holy name, that may be sanctified amidst the people of Israel. We sanctify your word in this world when we bring your spirit into all that leads. Page 370. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גוד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גוד לך. ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש. לשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם, לעולם ועד. You may be seated. We continue on page 372, and we have a reader.
I'm Jim Kaplan. Please join me on page 372 in the English. And so, in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witness of wonder. Perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeheartedness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name.
Page 374.
I'm Denton Williams. Please join us in the English on 374. And so, in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see a beam of light in the darkness,
A promise of perfection. Page 376.
The gift of a vision bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice, and the rule of malevolence fades like wisps of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance gone from the earth.
Page 378. Kadosh ata venora shemecha ve'ein Eloah mibladecha kakatuv. You are holy, your name is O. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, and God of holiness made holy through righteousness. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, holy sovereign. Page 406, we join together in Sim Shalom. I know it's a lot of pages. Shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha. Avinu, Avinu, Barcheinu, Avinu, Avinu, kulanu ke'echad, ke'echad, ke'or panecha. Sim shalom, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Amecha. We continue on page 413, 413.
Hello, I'm Sheila Spicer. I do not want to beg forgiveness or seek absolution. A poor petitioner before the throne. If a power flows through the universe, if some force or higher consciousness infuses all of life, it does not notice my misdeeds. Said Elisha, the heretic rabbi, there is no justice, there is no judge, no one to hear my confession, no one to grant me mercy, no one to seal my fate. Still the words of prayer are in my mouth. Still the wrongs I commit are on my mind. And still this yearning in my heart to make things right, breathe free, be clean again.
We continue on page 425, 425.
Hi, I'm Stan Osmond. This is Mark Osmond, and please join us recognizing the good on page 425. What gives us strength to pursue goodness? aware of the good that is around us, decent, generous acts that remind us of what is possible, here and now, in this world of moral ambiguity. So our sages taught, one mitzvah inspires another. Thus we acknowledge and celebrate those who do their best on the job, whatever their level of pay. Those who run an honest business, who don't cut corners, falsify, or lie. Those who labor in obscurity to help others, or advance frontiers of truth. Those who add beauty to the world through the arts or through unselfish deeds. Patient teachers who see the potential in shy or difficult students. Students who focus on learning, not just good marks, and earn their grades fairly without cheating. Athletes who exemplify good sportsmanship and self-discipline. All those who use their wealth to benefit society and the greater good. Those in high places resist the corruption of power. Whistleblowers alert to malfeasance who bravely sound the alarm. Public servants who do the people's business with integrity. Politicians who place conscience above popularity. Those who travel far from home to defend our country from foes. Those who keep our communities safe, who run into fires to save lives. Parents who care selflessly for ill or troubled children. Children who give time and love to frail and aging parents. Loving spouses who remain faithful. Loyal friends who stand fast in times of trouble. May their mitzvot inspire our own. May we find strength to emulate their honor. Let us take joy in remembering that goodness still abides.
Thank you. Page 429, if you are able, please stand for Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asi. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asi. We remain standing on page 430 for an interpretation of Aleinu L'Shabech in English. Aleinu, ours the duty to listen and ours the duty to praise. Ours is the duty to respond to what we hear, to raise questions and build houses of study in which to ask them, to praise the Creator for creating, to praise the Creator for rest, to praise the God of Torah for the challenge of Torah, to praise the God of eternity for every hour, every day, to plant and build, to seek peace and pursue it. Ours the duty to do justice, ours the duty to be Israel, to fix the broken, to open doors of hope, to bow before a commanding power that speaks to us from Sinai, from history, from deep within their heart. Hear, O Israel, it is your duty to complete the word, but you may not turn away. Page 437, we join together at the bottom of the page singing Rabbi Amar Rabbi Akiva, and this has a lai 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 part. I think is really easy too.
The Jewish lyric, Yai Lai Lai. Yai Lai Lai
Yai lai lai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 yada dai yada dai 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 yada dai yada dai 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 Amar Rabbi Akiva Amar Rabbi Akiva Ve'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha Ve'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha Zeklal gadol gadol b'Torah Gadol b'Torah Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 yada dai yada dai 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 Yada dai yada dai 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 This concludes our service. Remind me, what happened next?